Yeah, now it's recording.
Yeah. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whichever part of the world you are in. Welcome to Leo's YouTube channel. Today, I am privileged, honored to have with me a dignitary, DTM Hariharan. DTM Hariharan needs no introduction in the Toastmasters fraternity, as he is a Toastmaster of high repute, having achieved the highest award in Toastmasters, which is called Distinguished Toastmasters. Besides, he is a person of integrity, a good, positive go getter with specific goals, lots of faith and wisdom, who believes in himself and is always ready to help others, ready to extend his arm and his hands. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again, DTM Hariharan. DTM Hariharan, tell us a bit more about yourself. I know you have been in the corporate world for a number of years, 21 if I'm mistaken.
That's
I'm
correct,
not
DTM.
mistaken, 21 years. A bit more about it, DTM Hariharan, briefly. Over to
First
you.
of all, DTM Leo D'Souza, wish you a good evening. It's an honor and pleasure to be on your channel. And definitely, it is an honor to be interviewed by you and that too directly by you. So, to begin with, you asked me the 21 years of corporate life. So, very simple. I'm a trainer, I'm a professional speaker. I began from a place by name Pelgam, where my father used to be working for an aluminium company, also known as Indian Aluminium Company. My education was fragmented, little bit in Belgaum in Karnataka, then a little part in Goa, and then in Bangalore. Then, as fate had it, I had to come to Mumbai, and my career started from there. So, to be more precise, DTM Leo, my career has been, in fact, the work career has also been fragmented to a very large extent. I was in Bombay and then moved to UAE since the last 7 years. So I moved to UAE in 2013, and I've been here all through. And that's a little bit on my career.
Wonderful, wonderful. I heard that you had a bit of an encounter with the corona
Oh, yes.
episode that is going on here in Dubai. Not only in Dubai, all over the world. But tell us about a bit about the experience that you have encountered with the coronavirus here in Dubai of late.
Thank you very much, DTM Leo D'Souza. So it happened so that one of our office colleagues got tested for coronavirus as a positive case on Wednesday, about 2 weeks ago.
You
So
mean in your office?
yes, in my office,
Oh,
absolutely.
oh.
And I can tell you it was on the 15th, 16th, 18th that he was tested positive.
Hmm.
Now, he actually went in for a normal test because he was feeling uncomfortable in his sinus and he wanted to get the doctor to check as to what's wrong with him. So he just went in for a very, very routine checkup. And the doctor said, just get yourself tested for COVID-19. And he turned out to be positive.
Oh, that must have been very scary.
Oh, yes, absolutely, DTM. Absolutely.
What was
Even
your reaction?
in fact, immediately, I should tell you, the civil defense was pressed into action. We are about 150 odd in that floor of my office. They shut off the entire floor, they sealed it out, they have continued cleaning it and sanitizing it. And all of us were tested for COVID 19 the next day, that is on Thursday. Now, that is the most scariest part. I must tell you, it's perplexing to note how that colleague of mine got affected or got infected with that particular contagion. He apparently had gone for some interviews and he has interviewed about 100 odd people. Now he says that he didn't shake hands with anybody because the COVID-19 was already in the air, and we had requested everybody not to shake hands. The gentleman has not shaken hands with anyone. He has maintained a fair amount of distance. We are still a little amazed as to how contagious this contagion could be, that it has picked on him just sitting inside a room.
Oh, he was in the room all the time.
Yes, with the other interviewees, of course, who are coming in as part of interviews.
So he hasn't traveled out of the country and come in or nothing.
Not, it happened in the UAE
But
from a person who's traveled into the UAE from some other country.
okay, all right. So what was the next step that y'all took in the office to contain this and for y'all to safeguard the employees in the office? What was the next immediate step? Please
So
tell
the
us
next
about it.
so the next thing that the DHA did was, when they came to sanitize the office, they asked us to submit our Emirates ID details. So we submitted all our Emirates ID details. Now, whoever this gentleman had met from the 15th to the 18th, so that is 15, 16, 17, and 18, that are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, all those 4 days, everybody who had come in contact with him were contacted and asked to go for a test to the nearest health center. And I had to go for a test to the one very close to my house in
Oh, that's
Mankhood.
because you were in the same office. That means
Absolutely right.
every employee in the office had to go.
Everybody, everybody on that floor whom he had even met for a second had to go for a test.
Oh, you mean from a pin to a needle, everyone in the
Everybody.
office.
Everybody.
And then what?
Okay. So then on Thursday, so that would be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19th, at 2 o'clock, I reach the health center. Now, I'm not running any symptoms. I do not have a fever. I do not have a cold. My throat is clear. Everything fine. So I went to the counter and said, I need to come for a COVID-19 test.
That is
So
in Dubai.
immediately, yes, in Dubai, in Mankul Health Center.
Oh, right, okay.
So immediately the lady at the reception asked me, what is the reason you're coming here? So I said, this is the reason. There was somebody who was tested positive in my office. They took the name and the mobile number of the gentleman, and they were able to trace him down to find out if he was positive, or am I just bluffing my way through? Because apparently the government does not conduct tests until you have come in contact with somebody or you show symptoms. This is a very important factor, because the government and the health authorities are making it very clear that none of us should even venture to these places where the virus is in high concentration.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Specifically,
Precaution is better than cure.
absolutely. So their first question to me was, are you healthy? So I said, yes, I'm not running temperature. I don't have a cold. I don't have a sore throat. They said, we want to check. So they checked the temperature through my ear. They asked me to open my mouth. They checked my throat, and they looked at my nose. My nose was clear. They said, you know what, we will get a test done, but it is going to take some time. I was a little amazed as to why it is going to take some time. DTM Leo D'Souza, this was the opening, or this was the entrance to that huge amount of enigma that was waiting to unfold.
But there were many like you waiting to be tested.
I'll tell you, I'll come to that. So what they told me was, they said, three people ahead of you are waiting. You do one thing, you go and sit in your car, if you come in your car, else stand outside. Don't sit in a enclosed area. Okay, I sat in my car. After about 2.5 hours, at about 5 o'clock, a little impatient that I am, I went back to them and asked, is my test on, or is it not going to happen today? They said, we'll call you at 5:30. Please sit outside again and we'll call you at 5:30. So when I went back at 5:30, they escorted me into a room. And DTM leaders, those three people who were being tested were still there. So I was a little amazed. Why are these three people there still?
You mean they were outside or in the room with you now?
They were sitting inside a consultation room where I was also waiting in the waiting
All
area.
right. Okay.
Now, the nurse comes with a report and she says, you know what? You three are quarantined right now. We are picking you up and sending you in an ambulance. Right in front of me,
Oh my
there were
gosh.
three of them who were tested positive. Those three are staying in a shared accommodation where there are 15 others,
Oh my gosh.
and all 15 were sitting in the room next for being tested. Apparently, the testing was done the 2 days before because it takes about 24 to 48 hours to get the reports. And these three turned positive, and the other 15 were waiting. And I was sitting right there. You know
With
what
the
DTM did?
three.
Yes, those three were there, and the 15 were waiting in the next room.
And you were with those three.
And I was with those three because my test was next.
Next. Oh my gosh.
And I must tell you, DTM leaders, that this is what happened to me then.
You must have gone through the most harrowing experience in your life.
I remember sitting in my car at 2:30 when I got out of the car to get into the health center.
Okay.
I did not sit a single minute after that. And when I got into the health center at 5:30 for my tests, I can tell you I never sat anywhere. I constantly kept walking around, ensuring that I don't brush myself anywhere. There were sanitizers placed everywhere in every nook and corner. I can tell you one thing, honestly, I've never used so much sanitizer in my entire life that I used that day.
I can
In those
imagine.
3 or 4 hours, I was just cleaning up my hands every 10 minutes. I have never worn a mask, and I'm very, very uncomfortable when somebody covers their face. It could be me, it could be somebody else. But that day, I forced myself to cover my face only because of that fear. Now, there is an underlying reason for that fear. I will come to it in a little while. Then I went for a test. They took me in for a test because they wanted to give me a certificate. So they asked me, so the doctor attending has asked me, okay, why are you here? So I explained the entire chronology. Doctor said,
Hmm. That was an alert. Sorry for that. That was
that's
an alert from the Dubai government that everything will be stopped. National emergency alert.
oh, is it?
Yes, which has come to inform you that the traffic and public movement will be restricted in Dubai from 8 p.m. till 6 a.m. during the weekend. So stay at
Yes.
home.
Yes.
Sorry for that interruption.
No problem, DTM
Must have
leader.
come to you too on your mobile.
Yes, I am sure, but I've silenced it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay.
Now, what happened was I went in, I gave them the entire chronology of events. They again checked me to make sure that I was not lying or I was on any medicine. They took a swab of my mouth to know that I had not eaten any medicine to suppress the fever. This was something that was ironical. They picked
Wow.
up saliva samples and they told me that they will call me in 48 hours in case I have lied or fibbed with information.
Okay.
And then they got me tested for fever and sore throat and stuff like that and let me go to the next room. Now, DTM leaders, I was there in that facility for from about 2 o'clock to about 3, and then from 5:30 to about 8:30. So that means in total, I've been there for about 5.5 hours, maybe 6 hours. The
Okay.
only worry that was there in the back of my mind is I have my old mother here who's 72 years of age, and looking at the history of the coronavirus of the COVID-19, I know it could be extremely lethal on people who are above the age of 60.
Hmm.
I was only worrying because she's on a visit visa here. She does not have an insurance. She only has a travel insurance. How do I ensure that when I get home, I am perfectly sanitized and do not spread a single virus if I'm carrying on myself to her?
So what did you do then?
Superb. So the first thing I did was, as I parked my car in the basement, and before I could get on the elevator, I called my mother and said, Mama, I'm coming. So do me a favor, keep the door open, don't touch while getting, and I will change my clothes right at the door. Please place a towel there because that is the only one I can use. So I came to the door. My mother had kept the door open. I walked in. I told her to stand exactly 6 feet away. That's the bare minimum. Changed my clothes, took the clothes and put it into the washing machine first. I didn't touch the door of the machine, didn't nor did I touch any of the other peripherals and aspects of the washing machine. because I know if I touch it, that could be infection. The next thing I did, put on the geyser, the boiler, heated the water up, and had a nice hot water bath with a lot of soap for 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Okay.
Because this was the advice given to me at the hospital.
All right. You mean at the Mankul clinic?
Absolutely right.
Okay. And then?
Then after coming out, I then went and washed off the clothes and stuff like that. You won't believe it, DTM Leadership. That day was on the 19th,
Okay.
and today is the 26th. There's exactly 7 days in the middle. I have stopped my cleaner from coming home. I used to get food from outside. A lady used to provide me food. I've stopped that too. My mother and I have not opened the latch of my house over the last 4 days.
Okay.
We have completely quarantined ourselves in the true sense.
So how do you manage for food then in this time?
Thanks to everything, my mother is here. So that's
Yeah.
the boon in disguise. That's God sent, and God sent angel that I can call, who has come over, who's helping me with my food. If I was alone, DTM leaders, I would have struggled for food.
I can imagine. Now, as you said, you have been through a very shattering experience, I would say,
True.
with excruciating pain
That's correct.
experience too. And you have handled it very well so far. You said your mother was there, right? Is
Correct.
she still there with you?
Oh, she's sitting just right beside me.
Oh, can we have her on screen?
Why not?
Yes.
Please come. She's right here next to me.
She's oh.
You
It
can
must
see
be,
her
as
right
you
there.
said, it is a blessing in disguise to have a mother with you.
Good
And there is no
evening.
better person in the world to take care of a son than the mother. After all, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world.
Oh my God.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good
How are you?
evening, madam. How are you?
Fine, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
It is quite an experience that is narrated by your son, DTM
Yes,
Hariharan.
yeah, yeah.
In fact, I was feeling the shivers as he pictured or created a vision of
Uh-huh.
exactly what happened, you know,
Yes,
line by line, word by word, I would
yeah.
say. And how are y'all handling the whole situation now? He says for 4 days y'all have not been out, absolutely at home, together
Yes,
with your son,
yes,
Hariharan. You are also quarantined, I would say, staying at home. But
yes.
there's no love greater than a mother and son being together, I would say. And it is so joyful for me to see both of you together. Tell me briefly, madam, how
Yes.
have you handled the situation and how are you handling it currently?
Say, 10 days back, I ordered all the vegetables and all the groceries nearly for a month, and everything I kept it. I never knew that this virus will go like so. This thing. But now I am not worried since things are there at home, so I could manage. So vegetable and not everything that boy delivered from fresh vegetables.
Hmm.
Groceries, of course, I ordered here from supermarket.
Down, play, yeah,
Yeah, down.
down the house.
Yeah. So I think it will be there for another 15-20 days. So I can manage. And second thing, since I am here, I am not worried about this son.
Oh, yeah,
Other,
okay. You mean
if I
you
would
have
have,
another son also?
yeah, if
Oh,
he has got an elder brother,
all right.
Bangalore.
Yeah, okay.
So if I would have been in Bangalore,
Is it
then
okay?
I would have worried about Hariharan. So that one worry is not there. Only thing that everything should become all right. This panic situation.
Yes.
Visa is only till April 28th. So I am not thinking of going back now. I wanted to extend the visa so that let me be here for some more time.
Yes.
until the situation becomes okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be okay. This will also pass. You know,
Surely.
this will also
You-
pass. It's just that God is testing us. We have been
Yes.
so busy with our work and doing so many things that we have forgotten God along the way. And He's still
Yes.
telling us, be still and know that I am God. I am still you.
And every day I
Reminding.
pray to God that things should become all right soon for everybody, full world.
But I'm
And
sure with all mothers like you and all the mothers in the world, it will get, settled
Surely.
it,
faster.
it,
Because
Surely.
God hears the cries, the pleas, and the prayers of the mothers first,
True.
and then everybody else's.
You know what,
Because
DTM
God
live?
couldn't be everywhere.
Yeah, there is one thing I must say here. So, mummy made a point that we had our stuff coming in home. There is something I in fact, so I had a word with one of the doctors in India and asked him. So now that the virus is so badly spread and it can last on any surface for up to 48 hours. So what do I do? So his very simple answer was, whatever comes in from outside, whatever, ask them to put it inside the house in a designated place and do not touch it for a minimum of 24 hours, maximum of 48 hours.
Okay.
So, one way of ensuring that you do not get the virus from anything that is coming in from outside is very, very simple. Do not touch any items that are coming in from outside for a minimum of 24 to 48 hours. That is the period where the virus can be still able to uh, in fact, it can
Penetrate through.
spread over.
Yeah, they can find a way. Well,
Yes.
I'm just at home for the last 7 days, not going anywhere. You know, as they say, prevention and precautions are better than
yeah,
Oh, yes.
cure
Oh,
and
any
any medicine. So why
absolutely.
take a chance, especially me at my age? Now,
correct.
DTM
And
Hariharan and
Yes.
ma'am,
yes,
tell us now there has been a paradigm shift. In other
True.
words, in your thinking, and that is the attitude.
Correct.
Tell us a bit about your attitude now, the change, and how you adapt yourself till all this subsides.
You know, DTM Live, this is something I heard Sri Ravi Shankar saying. It's not that I am a great fan of his, that I'm quoting him, but something that was brilliantly put. He said, a strong mind can carry a weak body, but a weak mind can never carry even a strong body.
Wow, wow, wow. Wonderful.
mhm.
You made my day.
So,
My
so the
mind is
secret,
strong. My body is weak.
absolutely, yeah, your mind, body, and soul strong.
So,
Strong.
So,
all
so
right.
the
Now, so
answer,
what is your advice to people now? How should we adapt to this change? We need to have a paradigm shift in our attitude, and then
true.
we need to adapt as human beings to the change that is going around us. What is your advice, DTM Hariharan?
You know what, DTM Live, this is where you take me about 15 or 20 years into history. So I'm rewinding, and this is a conversation I had with my father when I changed jobs. So one day he said, you know what, you're changing from one company to another, so the culture is going to change. So if you have to adapt quickly, remember, you need to be like liquid, fluidic, so that you will take the shape of anything that you're poured into. Situations like these, I'm sure in January, when or on 31st of December, when the clock went off saying that it is 1st of Jan, none of us would have even imagined a situation like this 3 months down the line.
Oh, yes, yes. No.
And today I was reading that the WHO chief saying that it is a threat to humanity. In 90 days, when we were celebrating, we are seeing that a threat to humanity being cast. The only thought that comes to my mind right at the top there is having that positivity at home. I remember my mother a couple of days telling me, you know what, I am already old and I may succumb to this virus. I said, the only answer to this is being positive. If you
Absolutely.
are positive, life will go on. And there are two things that we can do. DTM Leo, and we are doing this. We practice it every day.
Yes.
The first thing that we do is many people, and it's a paradox. It's a funny kind of an oxymoron.
Mm,
People complain that they want a holiday, and they get the holiday. They don't know how to make use of it.
absolutely.
So in earlier times, a holiday would be, for me in my time, because I come from a very humble background, we didn't have great holidays. We used to never go to any resort, or we never went on a big staycation. We never went to any holiday homes, nothing. We used to do at the best is get a train from a place by name Belgaum in Karnataka and go to Cochin where my grandmother used to stay and then return home. So that was my vacation. And I can tell you, those days, our vacation used to be filled with only two things: communicating with a lot of people, and two, playing games on the board, playing games outdoor, but now outdoor is not allowed. So a lot of board games. We used to play carom board, we used to play Ludo, we used to play Chinese checkers, we used to play snakes and ladders, we used to play business, we used to play Monopoly, we used to play chess. Oh, the
Oh,
games were innumerable. So what's happening is life is taking us back there. So we have to adapt to it. Today, you may not have board games in the form of Chinese checkers and stuff like that, but you still have the Xbox, you have the PS4. You can play your games on them. One thing is spend time playing games. Second, that we obviously do is read a lot. Both of us spend at least about 2 hours every day reading,
wow.
at least.
That is good. Well, we are like minds think alike. Look at the books that I have here.
Yes,
I,
I'm always
I read
envious.
at least 4 hours, yeah, on an average, 2 to 4
I'm
hours a
envious.
day.
I'm always envious of the library that you have in possession.
Oh, yes, yes. Don't worry, I've kept some of my books for you.
Oh, I'll come
When
there.
yes.
And the
So,
third most important thing,
yes,
DTM leaders, and this is the key. We need to do something that will keep you busy through the day. Now,
absolutely.
so I usually ask this to people:
Mm,
what is it that you wanted to do last year
mm,
that you couldn't do this year?
mhm.
So, a lot of people, top one priority that happens on the 31st of December and 1st of Jan is losing weights,
Yes,
exercising. This is the time. You don't have to pump iron. You can jog in your spot for 15 minutes. You can do a few stretch exercises. You can do a few push ups. You can do a few pull ups. You can do whatever is there. And you can start that amount of activity, and automatically you're gearing yourself to go to the next level.
absolutely. I like what you said. It is like, we should remember in times like this our New Year's resolution, which we have
Absolutely right.
forgotten with time. This
Bang
is the
on
time
target.
to pack.
They say 80% of the resolutions are forgotten in the first 20 days of the month.
Absolutely. Well said. And madam, what about you? You would like to add anything what DTM Hariharan has said?
Uh, Actually, he, he used to meditate for an hour or so every
Yes.
day morning.
That's what I remember. He used to always tell early in the morning he meditates, and he forgot to mention that. So
He
tell
forgot.
us
In
about
fact, DTM,
meditation and how it helps.
I
And
only wanted to say one thing. In fact, it is not only help keeping your body fit, it's also keeping your mind fit.
peace of mind.
So that mental fitness and that peace will only come when you give yourself that amount of time. As I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Zig Ziglar who said, the maximum chatter in the world happens between your two ears. So
Yes.
that's where the maximum noise is.
Hmm.
So
I
if
think
you
it
can
is
silence that,
John Maxwell or Zig
oh
Ziglar,
yes,
one of the two.
yes.
It's one of the
So
two. You're right.
one of the two, surely. So I'm, in fact, this is where I must say that I do spend some time on that too, and that is something that I would never leave.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Anything more to add before I wind up?
Yes, DTM leaders, the three things that I would like to tell everybody.
Yes,
First
please.
things first. This is not an advice, because advice is always a negative connotation. This is only a suggestion. Three things that you must do. Do not get out of the house without a hard pressing, earth shattering reason,
Wonderful.
unless it is a question of life and death, because everything else is available at your doorstep.
Hmm.
This is the
Yes.
first thing. Second thing, if you have to go out, even if you have to go out, you should carry your own. Carry
Sanitize.
your own. There are two at home. There are two at home, one for my mother and one for me.
Wow.
This is something I said. If we go out, we will carry these. And
Wonderful.
look at the size, DTM Leo D'Souza. They are big enough to last us at least for 2 months.
Oh, excellent.
There is a very
Wonderful.
similar one in my car as well.
Wow.
And the third most important, DTM Leaders, and this is something that I would like to leave everybody with. It is all about spending time with the family.
Yes.
It's all about bonding together.
Mm.
This is the best time when we can make that call to our loved ones,
Yep.
when we can send that email to our friends, when we can possibly go to our archives, look at the photographs, and call those people whom we have missed somewhere in that timeline.
Yes.
Pick up the phone and make that call. These are the moments that you can never get. This is the silence that everybody wanted. But today, when that silence has come, everybody is scared of the silence. Don't get scared of the silence. That silence is the best that you can ever achieve.
Yes.
You will know, DTM leaders. I don't even have a TV at home.
I know.
We are without a TV.
But then your laptop is your TV, I think. Anyway.
Not very much. We hardly watch it.
I know you're not much of a TV fan.
No,
Yeah, with that.
excepting hearing some news.
Other than
That's
the news, yeah.
yeah, that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with that, we wind up with our interview and the experience of Corona that has been experienced by DTM Hariharan together along with his mother. Three things which he mentioned that stands out is be positive, be fluid as much as possible to be with the change, and third is be busy. Keep your mind occupied. And what I love about him is the famous quote of his: a strong mind and a weak body is more than a weak mind and a weak body, a strong body.
Strong.
So keep your mind strong. Do not, and also those 3 points which you pointed out in such trying, challenging times. Number one, do not go out of the house
True.
unless and until it is absolutely necessary. Number two, if you do go out, carry with you the biggest of the big sanitizers that is available. And number three, utilize the time efficiently and effectively with your family, your near and dear ones. You're bond together with them. Be on emails, WhatsApp, chat with your friends whom you have not been in touch for a long, long time. In other words, be with humans. And this too will pass. Thank you
Sure.
so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much.
And take care of
Bye.
yourself.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.